Hi, Awad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you. How are you?
Boys, I'm well, thank you.
Good, good. Niklaus, how are you?
Hello, Colin.
How
Hi.
things?
Can you hear me?
Yep, yep. Can hear you
Uh,
just fine.
yeah. You can call me Nick, by the way. This is just my
This
long religious
your official name. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ben, good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks. How are you?
Yes, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Long day, but hoping to finish it. Not quite finish it. I'm going to go till about 9 o'clock tonight, along with Katie. Hi, Katie. We'll be on the FI till about 9 o'clock tonight. William, how's it going? You good?
Oh, very good. Yeah. Working on the pitch and
Oh,
other things. Yeah.
glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Eddie, good to see you. How are you? I think we had a quick
Very
email
good.
exchange last night, did we not?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, there
Very
we
useful advice.
go. No problem, no problem. Naily, hey, how's it going?
Great, Colin. Great. Happy to be here. How are you?
Well, look, you say happy to be here. Look, we're going to be together now for the next 5.5 hours. So just to put
Yeah, that's
context,
true,
right?
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those you not familiar with FI as an accelerator program, Naily and I run the London chapter of FI. And so pretty much every Wednesday, Katie's actually one of the attendees of FI. Hi, Katie. And we go to about 9:30 on a Wednesday. So it's a pretty long day. So if this is a bit lighter touch today, then I'm all good. Who was that who just came in? Read.ai. Who's that? Nick, question.
Yes. When you say FI, do you mean Founder Institute?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of do a real quick intro for those of us who haven't been here before. Maybe Eddie, look, just tell us a little bit about yourself. We might have a bit of luxury today to let that happen. Eddie, who are you?
Hey, yeah, so I'm founder of Mutuals, but I'll get into that in a while. I've been working as a data scientist, and then I had an AI degree before that.
Oh,
So lots of data experience, but learning more about product and marketing recently, trying to get my content writing down. It's been my
wonderful.
focus recently.
Wonderful. Excellent. Nice to see you, Eddie. And Awad, we haven't seen you before.
Yeah, hi. I'm the co-founder of Never Left with Nick. I studied law at undergrad, and now we've built a solution which targets the nightlife and hospitality sector.
Ah, fantastic. Something I don't get any of at the moment with a 14-month-old. But would be delighted to hear more about it. Pat, good to see you again. How's it going? Congratulations on the launch.
Thank you.
Want to hear all about it. Bayo, nice to meet you. How are you?
Oh, hey, sorry, it's my first time on a pitch club.
No problem at all.
Yeah, so just wanted to come join in and see what it's all about. I'm the
Fantastic.
founder of a prop tech called Mapper. It's a recommendation and support platform for the
Okay.
property industry. It helps people essentially find their ideal home, neighborhood home in a city, and sort of aims to guide them through the entire process. So
Interesting. AI based?
AI based, exactly. So it will learn about where you go to work, if you've got kids, how old they are, what type of, I don't know, restaurants you like, and then try to find your best location in the city.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what we're currently building,
Wow.
just about to launch first version soon and do a pre-seed raise eventually.
The way you pitched it just there, it sounded like a bit like Terminator, which scares me a little bit. Mate, we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
All right, yeah, probably
Yeah,
that. We could do a bit of work on
good
that
to
one.
see you. Look, let's get into it. And Naily's going to be my fellow mentor here today. So let me just share my screen. Hang on a second. Where am I? For those of you who've been here before, you are aware of the certain element of chaos that sometimes comes along with Pitch Club. We've got some nice new sexy branding thanks to Midjourney and some interesting prompts. But for those of you, who aren't familiar with us, This is all about really providing a safe space, if you like, to try and practice your pitch and trying to get feedback from experienced mentors, judges, entrepreneurs, people who've been through it, like myself, like Nayli. We'll probably have a couple of other mentors join over the next hour or so. Series A itself, we operate in a number of different modes. We do a lot of capital raising now. We're working with founders every single day, trying to help them with their fundraising journey. And specifically, my background has been very much heavy sales and traction and growth. And realistically, the services that we offer are all about building the traction, because absolutely the number one pushback from every single investor on early stage businesses is, where's your traction? So we help you try and solve some of that. Bayo, I've seen your pitch deck already. Our analyst was talking to me about it earlier.
Oh yeah, so basically you saw my email. When I tried to book the event, it took me to that page.
I'm
and
sorry.
I just
My fault. I'm trying to
I
do
just
things
yeah,
at
I just chucked in my deck anyway, not for any reason, just because I had an overview deck I'd pulled together. So I just
Legend.
share that
Well
anyway.
done, well done. For those of you who haven't seen our analyst review service, take a scan of that QR code, and hopefully that will take you to the right place, the right slide. And basically, what we've got is an ex investment banking analyst, Friendly, who, when combined with his cyborg evil twin AI friend, has turned into this massive monster of productivity. So please, if you haven't already, feel free to submit your pitch deck here. The process basically is, what we'd love to do is then spend a bit of time to dig down and dig into the deck and see, if we can help in any other way. So
Is this the email deck or your presentation deck?
this is your presentation deck, ideally. Or in fact, if you've got both, whichever's got the most detail.
Okay, yeah, email
Okay,
that.
great question already. Thank you. Okay, so that side, plugs aside, rules of Pitch Club, for those of you who haven't been here. First of all, most importantly, smile, enjoy, relax, chill, show up, don't clam up. Talk about Pitch Club, unlike Fight Club. You've got Eddie's grain recorder. What's a grain recorder? You've got, you know what? We're going to give you 3 minutes. That's right. We're going to give you 3 minutes today, okay? Just to try and drill into it, up to 3 minutes. On 3 minutes, you're going to get a noise off of me or some kind of ding dong from my phone. Okay, so look, we'll try and wrap it up 30 seconds after that. Like I said, it's okay to screw up. So don't worry, don't panic. Unlike some of the accelerated programs where Katie will tell you, if you don't score properly, that you might get kicked out. And then look around and go, oh, where did that person go? Because they screwed up in their pitch deck. 15 seconds, please get your tech working. It's the most infuriating thing for absolutely everyone. And in terms of who wants to pitch first, please put in the chat. I think I'm running this on my own today. Normally I've got some glamorous assistants to help me. So if I'm running around like a crazy, Nayli, where are you? There you are. There you are. What I'll do, Nayli, is I'll make you a co-host, if that's okay.
Yes.
And then
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just in case you need backup.
Thank you. Nayli, would you like to introduce yourself to the gang here?
Yeah, sure. I'm Nayli Makango, the Mary Poppins of startups. I'm a recovering software engineer that got lost in the world of building products and supporting software to grow. So I see myself more as bridging the gap between I need to build this, my head is full, yet I have to speak to developers, whether I understand their language or not. How does it work? So that's kind of where I come in, and I absolutely love the startup world, scale ups, and as Colin mentioned, I'm also part of the team at FI London.
Wonderful, Nayli. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If I reference Dr. Hollywood soon, he may join a little bit late. He's another mentor. Mark might be here as well. And if not, it's me and you, Nayli. So okay, Katie. Katie, are you good to go? Whoever wants to go after Katie, please put your just put your hand up in the deck. I'm waiting to see Pat for sure. I'm waiting to see Eddie for sure. Don't put your hand up, just put it in the chat so I can keep track of it. Thank you very much. Katie, whenever you're ready.
The host has disabled screen sharing for participants.
The host, honestly. Right, try again.
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
What's going on?
It still says that it's disabled.
I didn't press the button properly. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
got it. Yeah, that works better.
Okay. Right, so unlike tonight, you've got 3 minutes. Is that good?
Yeah.
We can see your notes at the moment.
Is that better?
No, I can still only see your notes.
Oh, really?
You're sharing the other screen.
Sorry.
You know, that 15 seconds to get your tech. You know, maybe as it's you, Katie, we'll do 30 seconds.
Is that better?
Half of that.
Got it.
Got it. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie. And 10 years ago, I'd struggled with weight for a decade and fed up with all the diets that didn't work. I taught myself mindful eating and I lost 85 pounds. I wrote this book about my story and then I created the Eatiful method. Today, I'd like to share Eatiful with you. This could change how you eat. So what's the problem? Well, most people who want to lose weight turn to diets, and diets focus on changing what you eat, and diets fail. They fail because they focus on the what, not the how of eating. At Eatiful, we understand how people eat. Over 2/3 of people with unwanted weight eat too quickly, and 78% overeat at every meal. So what's the solution? Well, Eatiful is a simple app that changes how you eat. It focuses on the how, not the what, of eating, and teaches users to slow their eating and in turn lose weight. Our product lets people discover their eating style, learn the Eatiful method, and importantly, develop their daily practice. We put a little friction before food and encourage users to check in and set their mindset for slow and enjoyable eating. People use Eatiful long-term for journaling and self-reflection, all encouraged through gamification and later through community challenges. We're already testing Eatiful with a customer research program, and the users are not only losing weight, but they really love Eatiful. Manisha, Anna, and Ellen all have very different needs, but Eatiful is the only weight loss program that works for all of them. There are many solutions that try to help you lose weight by changing what you eat, the diets that fail. But now even providers like Noom and Weight Watchers are pivoting to selling weight loss injections. Fasting apps that want to change when you eat are on the rise and gaining popularity, but there's a clear opportunity for a solution that changes how you eat. Eatiful operates in the growing global weight loss market, and our serviceable, addressable market is £2 billion, which is US and UK men and women aged 30 to 65 who are obese or overweight and trying to lose weight and who want a non-diet solution, spending an average of £60 a year. Our conservative SOM at year 3 is £9 million. The app will be available in app stores for free, and after a habit-forming 7-day free trial, users can pay a low monthly or annual fee. Our strategy is to make it so simple and affordable, it's a no-brainer. Our go-to-market is to leverage our existing audience and then focus on content marketing. Our team has lots of experience in tech, and we're supported by a growing advisory board. Our MVP iOS app is almost in the hands of beta testers, and once live, we'll be seeking a 500k pre-seed round to help us develop our share of voice and iterate fast. Help us make it big in weight loss. Be part of the Eatiful story. Thank you.
Katie, how did you do that? That's incredible. Hang on, you flustered me now. You came in at 3 minutes absolutely on the dot. I'd be intrigued in terms of, I'm just going to remove the spotlight there. Hang on a second. I'd be intrigued in terms of what you're going to include that's going to make that better for a 5-minute pitch with the constraints of FI. Because for me, that was kind of on the money. Yeah, that was short enough to be really, really punchy, but long enough to have enough detail to actually just make me go, there's enough hooks in the water here that I'm going to land some fish. For me, and Nelly, I know I'm kind of just jumping in here just because I've got some extensive notes. First of all, Katie, what was different?
So the Tan Samson slide has the kind of bottom-up detail of how I've arrived at the SAM.
Good.
To show the workings, and the business model slide has the CAC and the lifetime value estimates in there. I'm
Okay.
trying to get more numbers focused in my pitch, ready for investors. I have the numbers, but I'm trying to get used to talking about them and working with them. So that's what this next iteration is about.
So exactly what you've just said there, you know, the pitch deck is one thing, and for everyone here on the call, you know, the numbers need to also add up to tell the same story as the pitch deck, you know, and so being familiar with the numbers, you know, all of your different metrics, all of your different acquisition costs, etc. Yeah, super, super important, which is why, to my next point, why did you only spend 1.5 seconds on the go-to-market slide?
Because I would have run out of time at the end. Longer.
Yeah, okay, so there's sacrificial lambs, you know, in every single slide deck. Yeah, if you've literally just managed to step on someone for 3 minutes and you are pulling out all the best things, then, you know, the fact that the GTM slide is 1.5 seconds and you just rush through it tells me you don't have a proper plan just yet. Or if you do, you're trying to hide something. And I don't think you're trying to hide anything. But, you know, maybe that's one of the things to really, really see if you can sacrifice some of the others, not the other whole slides, but maybe a tiny, tiny little bit, because it's super important. Nelly, what do you think?
I'm glad you picked up on the go-to-market slide, because that was one of the comments that I highlighted. But first of all, I've seen you pitch before, Katie, and every time I see you pitch, it's always better and better, and your confidence kind of comes through as well. Definitely love the product, but for me, on the go-to-market, I saw that more as a financial aspect of go-to-market. How much are we going to spend on the different platforms, more than a strategy? So when you start looking at anything related to health and health apps and stuff, there are people that will be sitting there and thinking, wow, it's a bit of a crowded market. So one question will be, how are you going to get into the market and get people in? And the second aspect is, how do we make sure that people on your platform will stay there? So I think the go-to-market might not be able to kind of talk to everything because you only have a few minutes. Yeah. But I think it will definitely be good to tackle a little bit on, even if it's the general approach to getting customers. You did mention that you already have your community that you're going to start with, but it's nice to see a little bit more than just the financial aspect of how much you're paying per platform. And I think the product was good. It was very fast for me, but I kind of understand a little bit of what you're doing, but I think I'm relying more on prior knowledge. If I was coming in cold, then I think I would still have some gaps in terms of what is the actual product. So that's actually something that I will bear in mind.
Yeah. Thanks, Nelly. Katie, any response?
That's all really helpful. I you know, as you know, been working on my 5-minute pitch for this evening, so trying to then do a 3-minute cut is quite hard. I think it would be easier just to work on a 3-minute, to be honest, and do it the other way around. I don't know what you think. Is it better to work on a 3-minute?
Look, personally,
or your 5-minute?
Personally, I don't like the 5-minute. I think it's too fluffy. Yeah, it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or it's an hour. Yeah. You know, you could elevator pitch for 5 minutes. Well, it's a very, very big building, or a very, very slow elevator. You know, so Casey, look, I love this. I love the fact that you've got also people to call on as well. You've got, you know, those 1,000 book readers. You've got your newsletter subscribers. You've got this. Look, this is early stage, right? You know, so now it's traction. You know, so, you know, how much are you spending now to acquire new users? And, you know, basically what's the plan there for the next 3 months, 6 months, et cetera, et cetera. So So yeah,
Okay.
good job. Good job. Mark has
Chris, Colin,
just
can I just
yeah,
emphasize
no,
one
yeah.
thing that you've mentioned there? And I think I might have said that before, Katie. What I see, obviously, you know, and as we talked about for investment in traction, for anything, even to start saying a platform of traction, and don't underestimate the power of the community you've already built. And I just feel like you're being a little bit humble with that. And if it comes out strongly, it really shows you as this is not my first gig. And by the way, I've already got this community and I'm just making it much stronger.
Okay. Thanks,
Katie,
Nadia.
I thought of you earlier, right? I over the last 2 days I've been making my beautiful artisan bread. Yeah, and it's been doing its thing in the airing cupboard, and then it's all risen properly and all that. And I've baked it and it's perfect. And then I was running late for a meeting and I've gone rah, 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 and eating it super fast. And I'm like, oh God, Katie will tell me off. All that effort, and I didn't really even taste it. Anyway, my dietary habits aside, Katie, good job, well done. See you later. So we're going to have Nick and Awad now. You're going to do a joint pitch, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. How exciting.
Awad, is your mic working?
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to try and spotlight both of you. It might be beyond my... No, it's not. There we go.
Perfect. So, hi guys. My name is Nick. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Neverleft.
Hi, I'm Nick's co-founder, and I'm the Chief Business Development Officer at Neverleft.
And as of now, when you go to a nightclub event, you have to wait outside in a long queue to get your ticket scanned, get your ID scanned, and get a picture of your face taken, which takes about 30 to 40 seconds per person. Quite long, right? But we found a way to reduce that down to just 5 seconds. So when you get to the front of the queue, security just needs to scan your ticket and they get all the information they need to check you in on their mobile device. Now, imagine if you could use that very same ticket to check your coat in the cloakroom, so you never have to lose your paper cloakroom ticket again. Now, that's what we're building at Neverleft, a software ecosystem for nightclubs and event promoters to help them streamline their daily operations and elevate their customer experience. Now, our long-term vision for Neverleft is to lay down the technological infrastructure that will enable the nightlife and hospitality industries to step on it and take the next big step in their evolution journey.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about the traction we've had so far. Till date, we've tested our MVP on 2 occasions at a popular student nightclub in Canterbury. We received some excellent feedback on our cloakroom function, and based off that, we decided to build out our final product for the cloakroom function. We learned some practical additions that we should take based on our MVP testing, and this included using tags that the venues can have to scan QR codes on the hangers. Additionally, over the summer, we were lucky enough to be approached by DQ, an Australian SaaS for bottle service, and they have a range of clients across the world. They approached us because their clients currently use Checksology, one of our biggest competitors, and they weren't happy with the existing solution. So DQ approached us to introduce us to their clients based on our final product that would be ready for the Australian market, and they aim to walk us into some of their top clients. Additionally, with DQ, we're looking to have an integrated customer experience that'll basically work hand in hand to cater to both our solutions. Additionally, we've received some traction from a local promoter in Canterbury called Canterbury Vibes, and they want to introduce us to some venues. To achieve our vision, we're looking to raise 250,000 through SEIS. Thank you.
Are we done?
Yes.
Great job, guys. Enjoyed that. Very, very interesting. I'm going to try again desperately to get the tech. We'll leave you up there, leave you on stage. Mark, you've had a bit of experience with not similar, but not dissimilar. Nice to meet you, Mark.
Functionality wise, yeah. I mean, but not in terms of what these guys are doing. Look, I mean, it's an interesting idea. I mean, I didn't realize that the problem existed today where you now have to go through that process and it takes kind of 45 seconds to a minute. I mean, okay, the problem exists. There's clearly a need for it. There's clearly some demand for it. You've got some traction. In terms of scaling this, you've got the user acquisition to deal with as well as the customer acquisition. So you're kind of running two businesses almost in terms of or two go-to-market strategies, which is comes with its own challenges. So just be prepared for that. In terms of your pitch, I mean, without slides and images, it was okay. You kind of come across quite well, guys. You're a likable pair. I think, you know, I'd like to see it when you've kind of got the visuals and I've got a clear understanding around exactly what you've built. But yeah, not a bad start.
Thank you. Thanks,
Mark.
We didn't exactly know, like we thought that we could get away without visuals today. We do have a pitch deck, which maybe next week we can
Next time, sure.
have like a shorter version of it, if you will.
Sure.
But yes, we would be quite excited to actually show you our visuals because our branding, I would say, is on point for this kind of occasion. But yeah, thank you very much for your feedback.
Thanks, Nick. Naily?
For someone who definitely still enjoy nightclubs, anything to get in quicker is definitely welcome. Going back into the startup world, they love the presentation, and as Mark says, visual will definitely help. I'm a very visual person, so I kind of have to do a lot of work when there is no visual. One of my concerns, again, I think something that Mark mentioned is obviously what you are trying to do. I'm not sure how much selling or convincing you will have to do. So, for example, I know that some nightclubs will, especially towards the end of the night or late in the night, the queue is actually great for them to manage the capacity in a nightclub. So that's something to bear in mind when you're talking to them. But in terms of the pitch, definitely would love to have heard a little bit more about the product. You've mentioned a few bits of what actually happens in a nightclub and what the issues are, but it's not very clear how your product is going to solve that. Second key thing for me, the story you've mentioned is targeting to me, the club goer, right? It doesn't show a lot of the aspect of me, the club owner. So if you're going to pitch this, it's really be interesting to approach the story from the perspective of me, the club owner, I have this problem, rather than me waiting outside. Because to be honest, if I've already committed to a queue, it doesn't matter how long I'm going to be there as the club goer, unless I go somewhere else. So I think that it would be good to have your target market very clear in the pitch. I'm assuming that the target market is the club owner, and any statistic that you can also help them with in terms of reducing the queue, getting people to go in faster, getting through all of the different steps faster. What does it mean to them in terms of money, however you can extrapolate that. I think that will help make it very, very clear who you are targeting.
Of course. One of our concerns is in terms of like who we're addressing to. The problem is that if we're not talking to like a club owner, how could we like make our pitch a lot more relatable? Because I don't think we have any club owners currently. So I don't know. It's kind of like a dilemma that we're going through with our pitch, because we're talking to normal people that might be going to a nightclub rather than owning a nightclub. So, you know, it really depends on our audience, and that's what we haven't really been sure which way to go to.
Nick, if I can jump in there, I think that's critical, absolutely critical in success or not success. We don't call failure here. So look, let me come back to that in a second. I guess in terms of the pitch itself, I actually enjoyed it, you know, and yeah, sometimes just a nice verbalized pitch is pretty good. Yeah, but ultimately, in order to extract cash, you're going to need a good pitch deck, you know, with a number of different versions of the pitch deck. So I would love to see that at some point. I also liked, Awad, that you're the chief business development officer. Do you want to know how many people have pitched to us just recently with a commercial co-founder? Precisely, I don't know, it's close to zero. It's probably about 0.5. Yeah, so it's a big thing, and the big step up that you guys have got over a great many people, I have to say, right? So it's a good mix. I like that. From a pain perspective, whenever I see really well excuse me, articulated, well-defined pain, then I see the vision for the business. You know, so the pain for you guys, okay, fine. So nobody likes standing outside pubs, clubs, etc. in the freezing cold. You know, I an FI event, I almost barged my way accidentally into a Wetherspoons, and then was reminded by the bouncers that you can't do that these days. Apparently, I'm like, yeah, who the am I? My second previous outside a nightclub, well, we were queuing for ages, and I didn't realize it was a big transvestite bar in New Orleans. I mean, you know, they should have kind of told me about that before I queued to get in there. So look, I'm not really your target demographic. However, I do know a lot about KYC and know your customer and the kind of regulation and legislation that all these bars now have to go through in order to keep their license. In that you have to do a KYC on pretty much every single person going in there. KYC is basically passport, ID check, etc., and face-to-face verification. So there are tech solutions that would go on CCTV, you know, where you could basically then do that analysis on the fly, you know, and some of that analysis is then stored on blockchain and yada yada yada.
And that I'm really happy that you brought that up. We're actually pre-verifying and doing the KYC beforehand. So when you buy a ticket for an event, right? You already know you're going there, so nobody can get into the event without the ticket. By doing that before that, you know, they can just scan your ticket, matches your face, everything, and then you're in. No faffing about with all of that. So that's the way of doing it. And you know, it's having a long queue outside with so many people that could be inside spending money is the problem. So if somebody's waiting for like half an hour, 45 minutes outside, which has happened to me multiple times, you're not inside the club spending money. That's
Nick, I go to one of Nayli's points though, in terms of throttling the number of people coming into a bar club. You know, that is one of the, you know, kind of effective uses of the door stuff.
I think the queue is a feature, not a bug. Like it makes people want to be in there, seeing a queue outside. Oh, I'm going to join that place. It looks popping.
So where I'm going to go to also, Nick, is in terms of like, you know, who's actually buying this, trying to get a hold of bar owners and club owners and stuff like that. You know, I've been in that position before. It's a nightmare. You know, trying to get a hold of anyone to get on the phone and have a chat to. What about casinos?
I mean,
same process.
We actually have quite a few good connections in terms of nightlife and hospitality.
Okay.
And hotels especially as well, which often host casinos. So we don't really have you know, we're not limited to a specific like part of kind of like hospitality, if you will. Our brand will start through nightlife, but we have a long-term vision that will branch out towards a lot of the regions of hospitality, if you will.
Thanks, Nick. Nick, we're gonna have to leave it there.
Of course.
Thank you for that. Would love to see the pitch deck. You know, feel free to put it through the sausage machine, and we'll see our friendly analyst makes of it. We're gonna go to someone who hasn't pitched yet before. So Eddie, sorry, William. So we're gonna go to Eddie, and then maybe Patrick or Bayo. I don't know. Don't know if you guys are, you know, up for it.
I'll give it a go.
Good man. Good man. Eddie, you ready?
I'm indeed.
There's an obvious joke that I could have said there, Eddie, but I'm not going to say it. Okay.
Thanks for leaving it.
Okay, are you ready, Eddie? Look, I can resist it. I'm sorry. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. 3 minutes.
All right, sweet. Let me just start my timer here. Sweet. So, hey, I'm Eddie, founder of Mutuals. And we're on a mission to end loneliness by helping everyone find their people. A few years ago now, I moved to Manchester. It was during lockdown, and it meant a remote degree followed by remote work. And it was hard to meet people. But I think everyone as an adult struggles to make new friends. We're all busy professionals and with limited time outside of work, all looking for those meaningful connections. Our solution replaces the existing event platforms with our AI curated gatherings. We're looking to reduce that 49% loneliness down to something a lot more reasonable. Our system is simple. You talk to our chatbot, it gets to know you, builds a profile, that then deeply understands your vibes, your values. And next time you're available for matching, we put you together in a room with a few strangers, half a dozen. You have a few drinks and afterwards give feedback and use that feedback to improve the algorithm. There's going to be people coming in who are new to a city, trying to get to know new people, or just seeking new friendships because they've got bored of the connections they have already. They all go into our curated gatherings, and after a while, they become people we consider to have enough friends, or they themselves consider that. And then they can go into our premium like-minded gatherings with us, knowing how they connect to each other, how they meet each other, and who they're going to like. We're not going to leave anyone behind. The people who don't get enough good feedback are going to go into our social skills coaching, and we're going to teach them how to be better communicators and make more friends. We're going to do for friendship what Bumble and Match have done for dating. We're going to normalize meeting a group of strangers the same way they normalized going on a date with someone you barely know. It's a 2.2 billion market if everyone in the big cities paid £5 a month, but down at 10% of that, 20s to 30s, is still a 54 million. Rooms full of random people are not what we need. The existing platforms don't provide any curation or experience matching, and the alternatives of swiping with Bumble for Friends also isn't a better way to find friends because you're trying to judge people based on a laundry list of characteristics and a few pictures. You need to meet someone in person to know if you're going to get on. We built a community of 3,000 people with our traditional events in Manchester, and we're now leveraging that experience and moving that into our curated events, launched in Manchester, launching in Liverpool and Sheffield soon. We'll start with young professionals and then move to students in the new academic year because students will quickly become young professionals as they graduate, and the young professionals are the ones with disposable income to spend on our premium products. It's freemium subscription where people can go to a few events to get used to it, and then we'll charge them for the premium experiences. We're also going to work with venues to do a pay per customer and an event marketplace where people can pay for extra customers to come along when they're not busy. We think there's also space to offer socials as a service to communities. We've got an AI powerhouse team with published researchers and industry ML experience and startup experience. We'll be using the investment to hire more in the marketing and invest in adverts because really this is a game getting out there and getting people to see us. We're looking for 250K and for 18 months runway. Thanks.
Eddie, good job. Just about 5 seconds over, but you know what? We'll let you off that. Who should I go to first? Dr. Hollywood. Sorry, Dr. Bazanti. Are you in the house?
Yes. Yes, I am. What a wonderful, amazing presentation. I loved it. I loved the using the AI in it. I loved how you monetized on it. I loved the structure on going from freemium to premium and how you charge the subscription model. Great team. Yep. I love that. That was really good. I think everything, the journey. I like how you also already launched in Manchester. I like you didn't put a lot of emphasis. Usually we say if you did something, put it in the front because you did, because you did a little bit. I like how you didn't put it really, but you showcased that. I think from start to finish, your presentation was amazing. I fully understood it. I understand where you're going to use the money. Overall, 9 over 10, 9.5 over 10. Great job.
Thanks, Sadiq. Eddie, just for context, Sadiq's in West Palm Beach, just north of Miami. Kind of like Manchester. you know, just Manchester on a sunny day.
We don't have those.
No,
Just rainy days.
exactly. Hayley, over to you.
Great presentation again, Eddie. That was very interesting, as this is something I struggle with myself. In fact, when I moved to Cambridge over 10 years ago, one of my first things was finding friends as a young professional. So by the time Meetup wasn't really well known, so I started my own groups in there. Now, I will piggyback on what Sadiq said, but I will go the other way. Just as I've mentioned with Katie, if you've already got the community, something that you've tried, don't be really humble about it. Because at the end of the day, until you have traction in terms of how much money you've made, you kind of want to also show that this is an idea that you've been testing outside of the platform, and that you kind of really understand what you are going in there. Second things, I wasn't really sure when I started listening, I felt like it was kind of a way of bunching people together. So rather than a large event, like as you will see in Meetup, you will probably have 2, 3, 5 people go somewhere and get to know each other. But then when you mentioned the event in Manchester and the picture, it actually looks like you run big events. Do you want to explain a little bit on that? Because I think that would be interesting to understand how that relates with the app.
Yeah, no, I should probably I'll add an extra picture in here and sort of put an arrow across, because yes, we've done traditional events, hosted this group on Meetup, and we've seen and understood the market and seen there's a demand with getting 120 people coming to our events, but it doesn't give you the experience, it doesn't give you the curation, it doesn't give you the likelihood of friendships, and that's what we're moving towards, the half a dozen people. So I'll make that more clear in this slide. But yeah.
Because for me, that's what I see as the main differentiator between Meetup, Bumble, and all of the other events out there, or platforms that really bring large amounts of people, which is great. You can have a great time, but it's more difficult to make friends. Now, another comment I have on I think it was the go-to-market slide where you've mentioned starting with students versus young professional, definitely something to try out, but I will I'm wondering why you're going first for students, because they already have the student union, they already have these capabilities of meeting people that have the same interest, compared to, as I've said, for me, young professional, especially just finish uni, go to a new town and go, great, now I need to start over. I think that's probably where you might shine even quicker. So again,
yeah, young professionals is definitely where we want to focus. It's where the money is because of the disposable income. It's where the demand is because the pain point is greater. But I think there's also students quickly become young professionals. So I think we get a little bit of a presence starting in September. We'll just sort of get on campuses, just get familiarity. There's going to be people who are going to, want to use that if they just don't know anyone, if they haven't found their way in student unions. But more than anything, they quickly become our main users when they then get graduate.
Brilliant, thanks.
Eddie,
well, that's pretty much it. What I have, I wanted to say, but definitely kind of love the ideas and want to hear more about it.
Thanks,
Nelly. Eddie, from my side of things, I like your team. I thought your team was really good. I'd like to see that a bit further up. I thought that's very, very interesting. You've got a very, very good mix of people there. For me, just in terms of style, okay, just in terms of the scrolling I found really off-putting. Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
I could have done
okay.
this.
Yeah,
I should have been.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like you come through it, and it's like, oh, okay, am I there? Am I there? Exactly.
Very silly, wrong buttons.
No, it's all good. It's all good. How many times have you pitched this?
I pitched it 4 or 5 times today, just practicing it. But other than that, not in any. I've been here twice before in September or November or something.
Okay. But yeah, look, you just a few nerves just from the start. We're all friends here. Don't worry about it. My voice
wobbled at one point. I was like, chill.
It's okay, right? It's okay, and it's to be expected. Many of us aren't used to speaking in public and all that kind of stuff. I used to get nerves. I'm sure I probably still would in an environment that I'm not familiar with. So don't worry about it. It's all good. I'd like to see maybe a bit more flair on the slide decks. I'm being picky here, right? As you can tell. My concern is about competition. Would you believe this is actually the second loneliness solution that I've heard just today. You know, we had a discovery call earlier with something not dissimilar, I have to say. And over the
What are they
last
called?
I can't tell you that. I'll tell you offline. But it's a big problem. It's a big problem. And of course, you know, they were going down the whole kind of post-pandemic, you know, the whole kind of, you know, separation and and I think it's a big problem. You know, I suffer from it. I know Mark suffers from it. I'm sure I'm sure we all suffer from it. I'm stuck in front of this little green dot, you know, kind of like 9-10 hours a day, you know, and it's tough. It's really tough. So I do think that there's a lot of pain there. What else did I have here? I loved the phrase, "Don't leave anyone behind." I don't know if you meant to, it was just a throwaway comment, but you said something about we're not going to leave anyone behind. And I think that's such a powerful, evocative line that perhaps, you know, you could play around with that. Because
I mean, I could touch on more that I personally felt that I struggled socially when I was younger, and it taken me a long time to develop the skills to be, and I feel like if I'd had something similar to this, I could have skipped a lot of pain.
Exactly. No, okay, that's really good. I thought your song was a bit crazy. I'd like to see what our analyst makes of that. They might just laugh at you.
Okay.
I love the 3000 community acquisition, you know, to a similar point to the previous guys, Nick and Awad. Acquisition with club owners and stuff like that. They're like the least engaging people known in history ever to walk the earth. You know, they're just painful to get hold of because they're basically asleep when you're awake. And yeah, insert pain here. So I'd like to see like what the GTM, what the real GTM is around that. But good job, really enjoyed it. Mark, any final thoughts on that? Because we're just want to get a couple more in.
Yeah, just a couple of things actually. Look, at the beginning, the positioning around, you've said it before in a couple of your other presentations, Eddie. We're going to do for what Bumble do for dating. I'm going to be honest. I personally, I'm not a massive fan of that. I think you could position it differently, because what Bumble and Match actually did for dating. So this is fine for positioning to investors because they're interested in making money. But if you use the same kind of positioning or that same phrasing towards users, I don't think it's going to go down so well.
No, we don't, to be fair.
Bumble for dating and Match for dating is actually not great at all. So if you tell me that you're going to match that for friend finding, then I'd be like, well, no thanks. So I would personally rethink that. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but we haven't got time to kind of go around the room. The other thing is, because there are, you know, in different age groups and different types of persona, which is why I love the AI piece here. People have different reasons for wanting to find a connection and find groups of friends. For some different personas in certain age groups, it's about making as many friends as possible that have the same interests. However, for other age groups, particularly in their 40s and 50s, it's not about volume of friends or friends that have the same interests. It's more about friendships that will drive value to their lives, I guess. So I guess there's more than one very, very different type of positioning to those users, depending on age group and persona, which is why the AI is really key here. So that's cool. But yeah, I was just thinking about the positioning and thinking, not too sure out to market to users that's going to go down so well.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, on our forward marketing, we don't mention dating apps because obviously we're not dating, we're friends. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just comparison, and obviously dating apps have done, in my opinion, don't do anything good for making connection.
They don't work, right? And
fundamentally, it's just
there's chat bots.
Makes you feel good about yourself that you've got some matches, or feel horrible about yourself if you're not getting any.
Exactly, it's affirmation for one sex, and the other gender kind of then falls down. And there's there's chat bots that it's fraught with users that actually a statistic I learned was something like 40-something% of people on there are not single.
And like 10% of the men get all the matches from the women, the rest are just left for nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it just judges wrong things. Yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah,
Which is,
and that aside from, you know, from a user perspective, it's all the platform driven to drive revenue. So it will hold back profiles, and only when you're about to leave will it go, actually, yeah, all these great profiles, there you go. So yeah, but from an investor perspective, that's great because it's driving revenue. But anyway, so out to user is slightly different, is all I was saying.
Guys,
Yeah,
we have
sure.
to move on. I'm just
Thanks.
gonna just add my long distance dating history on apps. Basically, everyone I met was crazy. What can I say? There we go. Just attracted it. Patrick, we're gonna go with you now, sir. And Bayo, we're gonna squeeze you in if everyone's good to stay. And Michael, of course,
Try next time.
and everyone.
We're good. See my screen, I hope.
Right, you got 3 minutes.
Yeah, Patrick Hosch, CEO and founder of Otis, not technical at all. Otis was founded to help vendors unleash the growth through a dynamic partner ecosystem. Really, my vision for Otis is what a CRM or lead generation platforms are to a salesperson. Otis will be for a channel partner team, essentially. Kind of imagine Gainsight and HubSpot having a child for the partner ecosystem. That's what Otis should and hopefully will be. What we're trying to tackle is the lack of collaboration. It's extremely difficult to collaborate with your partners. Most of your data is in Word or PowerPoint decks. There's no accountability that can is hard to manage. It's hard to track. There's no easy way to see how your partner's doing overall, and most of the tech that's out there is not really data driven. So we've created a solution that was actually launched yesterday, an MVP, that provides a central platform to manage all of your partner success plans, to drive accountability, to drive alignment and collaboration. And soon will also be AI and data driven to help you make more informed and better decisions and really help you define where your investment will go. To give you a bit of an idea of the market size behind that, around partner ecosystem software, in 2022, it reached 62.4 million and will go to 201.6 billion in 2032. And to kind of put it into perspective, over 70% of technology is delivered through a partner at the moment. So there's a huge market behind that. Our business model is fairly easy and straightforward. Around the partner success plan, that's the measure. 4 different tiers up to the enterprise plan. But I think what sets us apart on that end is our experience. We include our experience in the platform, helping our customers drive the partner ecosystem, which in turn, selfishly, obviously drives consumption on our end, hopefully, and drives our revenue. We'll also be the first to market around predictive data and artificial intelligence. All of the competitors out there are not very data driven, and quite frankly, shit technology. It's a bit outdated, and we want to really disrupt that. Traction that we've built was over the last 2 years, we've actually provided what we want to build as a platform. We provided that as a consulting service to startups and scale-ups. Proven to work. We've got a big roadmap on what's lying ahead around communication, integration, collaboration, and most importantly, AI. And our market adoption drivers is one part the advisory. The biggest part there will be partnerships, eat our own dog food. So we're going to partner with consulting partners, with technology partners to bring our product to market and make it the standard in anyone who basically wants to drive a partner ecosystem. And on top of that, the communities around partner leaderships, build our own community. There's a massive drive over the last year to have more and more communities in the partner ecosystem space that we want to leverage. Team behind that is myself, is Jorge, is Bernie, all very seasoned people in their respective fields. Myself on the partner end, Jorge from a UX perspective, and Bernie as a long-standing platform engineer. If you want to write a check right now, here are my contact details. We haven't gotten to the point of defining what our round's gonna look like at the moment, but that's it at the moment. So hopefully with the next presentation, we'll have that last bit of missing slide here.
Thanks, Pat. Good stuff. You're probably about 40 seconds over. But as it's, what day is it today? As it's Wednesday, we're feeling generous. I'm going to go over to Nayli for first feedback.
Do you mind actually stop sharing the screen? Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't think I really understood what you're trying to do. For me, there was a lot of buzzword. I think I have a general idea, but I actually clicked in halfway through the presentation rather than at the beginning. So for example, you've started in, talked about partners. For me, unless I missed it, I kept on thinking about all of the different partnerships that you can have in business, right? And it's only through halfway through they've mentioned delivery partner. So I thought, okay, right, I see roughly where you're positioning yourself, which meant that maybe you'd said some pretty good stuff at the beginning, and my brain was trying to figure out where am I actually going. So I'll definitely make it very clear your target market very at the beginning. Your roadmap felt like a list of features. Again, what are the benefits? So you've talked a lot about data-driven, AI, okay, data-driven decision, but what kind of decision you want them to make? How are they going to make some win using your platform to help them make this decision compared to other things? So I think that one of the biggest things that's missing in your pitch is kind of the story to kind of guide people in, and definitely reduce a little bit of the jargons in favor of more practical examples.
Yep.
Thanks, Nayli. Sadiq, are you there?
Yes. For at the beginning, I love the present. I love three things here. I love the cleanliness, the colors, the presentation style. It was not messy. It was organized. It was very well put and structured. I like your presentation. I like your presence, the way you speak, the confidence, the knowledge. That was really great as well. I like that you were, you knew your slides ahead of time and you were preparing for it as well. I didn't know at the end, like, this is an investor pitch. So at the end of the day, the investors want to know how much they're investing, what are they investing in. I think that's just one simple slide. You did mention you didn't have it, but if you don't have anything, put something out there. Right now, we might not invest in this meeting, but at least something out there that shows I have everything ready, right? Other than that, I think I think the product is really great. I think you have the market target audience really down, and you have the structure. I just want to see more. Yeah, I think it's really good. I think again, what another great presentations today. Today's like really hitting the spot.
Thanks, Sadiq. Cool, Mark.
Yeah, hi Patrick. Look, good presentation. This is something that obviously that resonates with me personally, having done Partnerships Channel for a large proportion of my life. Be interested to hear what Katie actually says. Maybe I know Katie's done Partnerships Channel, unless I've mixed you up with somebody else. But yeah, no, really good. The issue exists today. There's clearly a market for it. Perhaps it's unfair for me because having come from a channel partnership background, obviously I completely get it. For somebody that's not from that background, maybe there's a few tweaks that we need to make for it to resonate, or for other people outside of that kind of space to understand what exactly you've built and what you're doing and the pain you're solving. But no, good job.
Thank you.
Mark, I think just to kind of double down on that point, I think this is a big pain if you know the pain exists. Yeah, so, but you could apply that pretty much to everything. Queuing up outside nightclubs, who'd have thought that's a pain? Of course it's a pain. Air quality, William, that's a pain. But unless you really think about these things, how do you know it's a pain? But for the right investor who comes from that tech background, who comes from enterprise, may have run, big enterprise companies, etc., and has exited successfully, and knows what a pain in the ass his partner people are. Sorry, not you, Mark, and not you, Patrick, of course. But what a pain the whole thing is from start to finish, and managing these needy, horrible partners who want everything on a plate, and yeah, of course, you'd be crying out for a solution. So I like it. I do like it. I think, is this the first time you've pitched officially, Pat?
Yep.
Yeah, good job, mate. Good job. Regardless of the fact that I know we've already spent some time, regardless of the fact that you're not actually potentially asking for investment here, to Sadiq's point, I still think you need to leave an ask at the end.
Yep.
So having it woolly, like, if you'd like to write a check, then yeah, then great, nice and quirky. But I think that if you were to share some of your growth plans and what, let's say, a check for £500,000 would do to your growth plans in terms of acquisition of new users, boosting marketing, developing the product, and really, really kind of making it clear that I've hustled and funded this myself to get to this point. Your cash is going to give me oxygen to blow this up. Yeah, so maybe kind of really, really stressing that. Ben, we didn't get to you. Ben, you're going. Come back next week.
I will be. I'll definitely be back next week. Yeah, thank you.
I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. Okay.
I didn't have anything prepared.
Come back next week. Make sure you do. So Patrick, yeah, I was a bit unsure about the slide, the market adoption drivers slide. I'm not quite sure what that was, apart from different acquisition channels or different revenue mechanisms. I'm not quite sure. I'd like to see that again. Also, something that in early stage businesses that we really, really want to see, if you've got traction, you get it to the front of the slide deck. Hi, I'm Pat, and we've already got this, and this. And when I met Sadiq, sorry if this is a boring story for anyone else, I met Sadiq at a pitch event in Miami. Sadiq was pitching. I was one of the judges, and he led with, hey, I'm Sadiq, and we've got X thousands of users, and we've already done this. And you could see the investors in the room sat forward, ears pricked up, because all of a sudden it's interesting. Yeah, all of a sudden it's, wow, okay, bang. You've hit me, with a real good firm jab right between the eyes, right from the outset. So I'd apply that to everyone, in your thought process. Have we missed anyone else? No, Pat, you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, good. There's not going to be any tears in the Hosh household tonight. Just checking.
No, not on my end at least. We'll see what Leonard does.
Good man. Yeah, look, William, I know we've. Do you want to go?
Sure. Let me turn on my.
I'm happy to stay and listen. If anyone else, Nelly, have you got a hard stop?
No, I'm good to go. Keep going.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, well, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we're going over. Anyone else who needs to drop, feel free to. But typically, we try and keep support, no pressure. But William, you got 3 minutes on the money. Okay.
Okay. Can you see my presentation?
I can see your. I can see PowerPoint 97 by the looks of it.
How about that?
That's better. Ready when you are.
Well, good. Well, so smoking's not the only cause of lung disease. We know that indoor air quality today is degrading as we better seal our homes and buildings. This increase in radon levels is predicted to increase lung cancer, and a variety of occupational hazards are also increasing the incidence of COPD. Now, my name's William Chapman. I'm the founder of Air by CC Squared. Our focus is on the development and selling of products to control chemical toxins in the air that we breathe. So our end game is to build products that allow homeowners to measure and purify the air in their homes such that it's free of any harmful chemical, equivalent to the air in a hospital or nursing home. My co-founder and wife is a home care nurse who has great experience transferring patients from the hospital to the home for recovery. We'll develop matching air samplers and purifiers to ensure that all patients can recover in a clean air environment. So this may sound expensive to you. Is this another R&D project is going to cost you $1 million? Well, not exactly. What we're doing is building a laboratory. Our strategy is to build the air testing laboratory first, profit from it by the sales of products to workplace safety professionals. And then we'll use this laboratory that's now bootstrapped to develop our new product, which have very high value. So today we have launched a series of products for workplace safety. These are scalable products. We have a mail order business. We mail samplers to customers. They use the sampler. They mail it back to us, and we analyze in our automated laboratory. And, we can measure hundreds of different chemicals today. As I said, we launched our product. We have receipts, maybe $1,000 a month so far. We have a signed letter of intent, which will generate greater than $400,000 per year, ramping up in about 18 months. And we have good sales in veterinary, indoor air, and industrial hygiene products. So that we're getting good reviews. And we also have some patent pending technology. These will be the new technologies that we'll be developing, especially an air purifier. We have a air purifier concept that we've built and tested, and the prototypes work well to remove formaldehyde from indoor air, which I think is exceptionally valuable. We're seeking about $500,000 seed funding to better scale our operation to satisfy our existing strategic partner and to eventually achieve a profit through the sale of these MVPs. We want to gain ISO certification, which will open up medical markets to our existing business, which will make us more recession-proof, and complete the development of an automated reporting system, which will increase our operational efficiency and open up time for development of our new products, our air samplers, and especially our air purifiers, which allow us to grow our product line and our IP moving forward.
William, 30 seconds, please, max.
Well, that's about it. I went a little faster than I was planning to.
Okay, cool.
I was overtime before.
Yeah, you were. You know what? You were probably about 30 seconds over all up. So, okay, cool. Nayli, have you met William before?
No, this is my first time.
So William, William's an FI alumni. I can't remember which cohort. And you've been through Funding Lab as well, William?
Yes, I went through Funding Lab last year, and I'm joining again starting tomorrow this year.
Yeah.
Last year, I think I learned a lot, though.
Yeah.
I still have a lot to learn about funding a company, so I'm going to go through again and see what we can get going.
So I'm not gonna William, I think we need to overhaul your deck.
Okay,
and just rebuild it. Because I've look, there's nothing wrong with it, but I've heard it now a dozen times. And I'm like, it's getting better. Your delivery's getting better. But I want you to take me on a journey in 3 minutes. I want the story. And I think you start off, and I said this last week, where the impact of that initial statement resonates with so many people, certainly who've either suffered personally with lung disease or have had loved ones suffer with lung disease or lost loved ones, etc. It's so impactful. But then it kind of tails off, and I kind of lose some of the impact. So you hit me with the emotion. And like I say all along, emotion equals pain, pain equals business value and business proposition. Yeah. So how can we now really capitalize on that, double down on that emotion? Yeah. Apply that to all of the great stuff and all the great technicalities and technical product that you've got in play. Align that with the traction and bring all of that in this beautiful package, to kind of wow, stun, delight, and impress investors and customers. And that's me saying I'm not going to precede any kind of thing. But Nayli, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely agree in terms of some aspect of the slide. I felt like even if the first quick change you can make is to shorten some of the sentences, because I find that there's a lot of the thing that you were saying that could stay on your notes aspect of things, but not on the slide, as it's kind of distract a bit. So the second one, I also echo, I love the beginning of the story, especially for someone that tends to fly a lot for work. And every time I go on a plane in places like that or in closed spaces, I always think about air quality. So I think you definitely have a really good hook at the beginning, but then the story gets lost a little bit in the middle. So I think for me, those will be the first few things that I will tackle to power up your pitch a little bit before we can start looking at other aspects of things.
Cool.
Well, thank you. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So you several times have mentioned that I should use fewer words on the slides, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, to explain to investors without being there, I mean, you often email pitch decks to investors so they can get a look at what you're doing before you pitch. Would you suggest also making a more abbreviated sentence and just using fewer words, or should we?
Yeah, look, so there's different versions of decks. Yeah, and I can't remember who it was who said it earlier, but one of you called out is this my investment deck, or is this my, basically my presentation deck? Presentation deck, fewer words, and maybe if you use like the PowerPoint feature where you present over the top of the deck and go through it line by line and so on and so on, you can use graphics and you can actually tell the story without having, basically, without, someone actually reading all the slide deck. So it's a very different medium to a big, long, text-heavy presentation that you don't need to be at. Yeah. If you're sending like an email deck, that was the phrase that someone used. It's an email deck. We call it an investor deck as opposed to a presentation deck. Yeah.
I see.
Now the problem is with some of the accelerators, etc., it all gets mixed up into this, right, we're going to try and get as much information as possible into a 3-minute deck. And that's not real life. Real life is I'm going to have a conversation like the guys like Nick and Awad did. You're going to have a conversation face to face, and then maybe send a deck that's text heavy and information heavy. Or you're going to have an opportunity maybe to present a 1 or 2 minute teaser deck and so on. So I'd be interested to try and help you get that 1-2 minute teaser deck. You leave this one in reserve and even add more text to it. But the one that you're presenting in 2 minutes is much less text heavy than this.
Yeah, of course. Okay, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, I can understand that. That makes a lot of sense. The
Awesome.
audience tries to read the sentences while you're speaking, and it becomes confusing.
It's tough, right? It's tough. And look, this is all evolution. It's not revolution at all. But here to help as always. So hang on a second. Let me try and share my screen a second. There we go. Thank you for the feedback. Whoever's telling me that something wasn't rendering properly, Eddie, I think that was you. Yeah, look, it's a newish website. God, it's painful. But look, if you want to book, I think some time, these QR codes hopefully still work. And if they don't, mea culpa, find me on LinkedIn, email me, WhatsApp me, whatever. Guys, thank you as always. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, have a great rest of the week.
Well, thank